Beneath the calm streets of Los Angeles, a monster is shifting. 25,000 feet down, a hidden fault is waking up. It is squeezing the city from below. Scientists used to watch the San Andreas Fault. They were looking the wrong way. New data exposes a blind killer ready to snap. Are you sleeping on top of a death trap? The danger is buried deeper than anyone imagined. Your family could be next. Los Angeles looks like a flat, endless paradise. It is just boulevards and sunny neighborhoods. But those mountains are prison walls. You are surrounded by massive peaks on three sides. The city floats in a giant, unstable bowl. It is a geological trap. The ground looks smooth and safe. Do not be fooled. That calm surface is a deadly illusion. Flat ground doesn't mean you are safe. It just hides the violence happening below. A nightmare is unfolding under your feet. Forces stronger than any city have shaped this land for ages. They don't care about your home. They will crush it. You live in a tectonic war zone. The Pacific and North American plates are grinding together right now. The San Andreas Fault acts like a giant vice nearby. It is crushing the region from both sides. We are trapped in the middle. That pressure snaps the earth and stacks mountains high. The center sinks and fills with loose dirt. It is a recipe for disaster. That flat land isn't solid rock. It is the roof of a buried graveyard. Ancient valleys are smothered under miles of sand and clay. In some spots, this loose dirt is 3 miles deep. Your office tower sits on a geological lie. It is just a fresh coat of paint over chaos. The canvas underneath is ripped to shreds. Earthquakes have warped and ruined the foundation for centuries. Why is the city so flat? The answer is terrifying. The mountains you see are only half the threat. The real killer waits in the dark, deep underground. Rocks are snapping and breaking. You can't see the danger coming. We need deep drills to even find this monster. Oil wells are the only reason we know it exists. Flat land is not safe land. It is a warning. The calm is a mask for a restless underworld. Deadly secrets are finally coming into focus. You need to pay attention. The ground beneath you tells a horror story. It is a layered graveyard of crushed mountains. Everything is buried under miles of dirt. Rivers buried the old world over millions of years. They hid a jagged landscape under a sea of mud. That mud leveled the surface like concrete, but the foundation is rotten to the core. That 3-mile thick blanket hides the ultimate threat. It covers the most dangerous geological trigger in North America. This isn't a normal crack in the ground. Geologists call it a blind thrust. It is invisible until it strikes. It never breaks the surface to warn you. The Puente Hills blind thrust lurks right under downtown Los Angeles. The danger starts just 3 to 5 kilometers down. That is deeper than any subway tunnel you ride. No cracks on the street will give it away. We only found it by listening to the earth scream. The shape of this fault is absolutely terrifying. It is built to destroy. It acts like a massive underground ramp. Pressure shoves rock layers right up into your basement. These massive folds stretch for miles under the city. You drive over a ticking time bomb every day. The fault runs at least 40 kilometers through the danger zone. It sits directly beneath your homes and offices. Big oil companies found the danger first. They were digging for profit and found a warning. Their drills hit layers that were twisted and wrong. A massive, hidden hand was warping the earth. We didn't even understand the threat until the late 20th century. We were blind to the monster under the bed. The Puente Hills Fault doesn't give warnings. It just quietly warps the ground while you sleep. You can't avoid what you can't see. That is what makes this the ultimate killer. No broken roads, no crooked fences, just a silent buildup of catastrophic energy. Millions of you are living on borrowed time. The Puente Hills Fault is waiting in the dark. This discovery changes everything about your survival. The mystery is over. The threat is real. A quake isn't just a random bad day. It is a calculated strike. It is the explosive finale of a long, silent squeeze. The fault is hoarding energy like a bomb. When it snaps, that power shoots straight up. It will shake your world to pieces. Experts predict a magnitude 6 or 7 event. That is enough to flatten your neighborhood. But the number isn't the scary part. The real horror is how the ground behaves. If you live in Los Angeles, you are sitting on a ticking time bomb. The city rests on a blanket of soft sediment over 3 miles deep. This dirt acts like a massive amplifier. When a quake hits, the shock waves slow down and explode in power. They violently shake the surface, hitting your home 5 times harder than the bedrock in the hills. This is not a guess. It is a proven, deadly phenomenon. The 1987 Whittier Narrows quake proved it. The shaking was brutal in the softest zones, right where the basin is deepest. You cannot see this threat with the naked eye. Experts use high-tech X-ray vision to look deep inside the earth. They use technology meant for hunting oil to hunt for disaster. They blast waves underground and listen to the echoes screaming back. Every rock layer balances the sound back differently. It creates a terrifying map of the danger beneath your feet. They match these echoes with physical rock samples from deep oil wells. This connects the ghost signals to reality. This process anchors the data. It turns blurry lines into a precise roadmap of the faults waiting to snap. But the detective work does not stop there. Hundreds of sensors are scattered across the city right now. They catch every vibration, from passing trucks to hidden tremors. These networks track thousands of tiny aftershocks. These mini-quakes trace the outline of the sleeping giant. By connecting these dots, scientists revealed the Puente Hills fault in 3D. We can finally see the beast. We see where it ramps up. We see exactly where it will rip apart and destroy everything above it. This is not just academic theory. These models are alive and updated every single day. Every new tremor helps us sharpen the picture of the inevitable. The verdict is a death sentence. A magnitude 7 earthquake is locked and loaded just a few kilometers beneath downtown LA. The ground that built this city will eventually try to destroy it. Now, we have the maps to prove it. You think oil made this city rich? That black gold was hiding a dark secret about the ground beneath you? Back in the 1920s, oil hunters noticed something wrong. The drilling logs did not make sense. The rock layers were not flat. They were arched upward like waves frozen in stone. Those folds were the smoking gun. A massive, invisible engine was crushing the basin from below. These bends create traps. Oil and gas float up until they get stuck in these geological pockets. That trapped fuel became the backbone of the LA Empire. But it was a warning sign we ignored. Massive fields like Long Beach are pumping fortunes from these traps, but those underground arches are scars of violence. Every barrel of oil proves the earth is squeezing. The crust is folding, capturing ancient fuel in its deadly grip. But sometimes, the danger bubbles right to the surface. Look at the La Brea tar pits. That is black doom oozing from cracks in the earth, trapping victims for thousands of years. These leaks prove the ground is fractured. The pressure is finding a way out. The city is leaking evidence of the violence below, and it is not just one fault line. It is a massive web of fractures. They are all driven by the same blind thrust waiting to kill. Not all clues are black and sticky. The Palos Verdes Peninsula is a massive monument to this danger. That rocky spine is the top of a giant fold. It was pushed up by a fault zone you can't ignore. The land was shoved skyward over millions of years. The same force is warping the floor beneath your house. Those scenic hills are evidence of the grinder beneath us. LA is built on a landscape that wants to move. Geologists have become detectives at this crime scene. They trace the oil in the hills to find the killer. They are piecing together the puzzle of your city's destruction. Every tar seep and bent rock is a clue. The signs are everywhere if you open your eyes. The land is rising. The tar is bubbling. The wealth beneath the streets is hiding a bomb. This restless underworld defines your survival. Most people will never see it until the ground opens up. At 4:31 a.m. on January 17th, 1994, the nightmare became real. The Northridge quake attacked without warning. The bomb went off 18 kilometers down on a hidden fault. It shook the city for less than 20 seconds. In that brief moment, your world ended. Freeways snapped like twigs and apartments crushed families in their beds. 57 people died that morning. Over 8,700 were left bleeding and broken. It cost $40 billion to fix the damage. But for the survivors, the terror never ends. Imagine waking to shattering glass. The floor violently heaves beneath your feet. You stumble through dark, choking dust. Freeways and hospitals crumbled instantly. Entire chunks of Interstate 5 just snapped. Highway 14 twisted and fell. Hundreds of thousands of homes went dark. No power or water for days. Scientists found a hidden killer deep below, an invisible blind thrust fault. Hidden faults can devastate a city instantly. This lesson cost us dearly. Los Angeles sits on silent threats. The next hit could be anywhere. A terrifying puzzle lies beneath your routine. New data screams urgency. Puente Hills is just one hidden trap. The network is a tangled mess. 10 million people live on this bomb. Engineers face a deadly challenge. Every new building rests on unknown danger. Our maps are frighteningly incomplete. Codes are strict, but the ground lies. Teams are racing to learn. Sensors blanket the city to listen. They catch the faintest tremors. Tiny devices in schools stream constant data. They track the threat below. Vibrations help map the faults underfoot. But the danger shape is blurry. One rupture could trigger a chain reaction. The damage would multiply fast. Your safety is on the line. Experts like Maria Torres fight this. She races against the clock. We need defenses before the next shake. Your survival depends on this critical work. We must find invisible hazards now. The ground will move again. 4 million people sleep above invisible cracks. The boundaries are always shifting. This city is a living experiment. The search for answers is desperate. Share this to save a life. Where will you be when it strikes?